All of this for that? Really? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a 35-year-old dad by the name of Jared Schmeck from Medford, Oregon, which is right in the south of the state, not too far from the California line, who prank called Joe Biden over the Christmas holiday, who is now being threatened with loss of his life and a few more things, some kind of vague threats and serious threats, all because of the prank. Now, if you have not seen the glorious prank, I'm going to play that right now.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon?
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon. Bye-bye.
So I thought that was a good prank, right? I mean, let's go, Brandon. He said it right at the end of the call. And if you want to see that full video that's like 3 minutes long, where he's talking about what his kids want for Christmas, I'll link to that in the description box. But it was a perfectly placed prank. He didn't say anything vulgar. He was not nasty. He was not disrespectful. It was a good prank. I mean, prank calls are not a bad thing. We've heard prank calls on the radio and on TV and things of that nature. Okay. Sometimes it'll be a whole interview with somebody that the station thinks is somebody else. Okay, they think it's Steve Jobs on the line, but really it's some random dude that's 1,000 pounds in his basement. You understand what I'm saying? Full of Cheeto dust in his beard. They think it's somebody, but it's not. It's a prank. It's no big deal. Somebody might laugh. Somebody might get upset, but it's a prank. Pranks happen. It's not like you got to go to the penitentiary afterward. However, people are saying that because they're saying that what he said was vulgar. Now, I didn't know that the words "let's go, Brandon" were vulgar at all. Now, if you've not seen the original clip from which "let's go, Brandon" comes from, I'll play that so you kind of understand what they could be talking about.
Moment. Brandon, you also told me. You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
All over the country, there have been chants of F Joe Biden. You're talking about NASCAR races, football games, basketball games, pretty much anywhere where there's a crowd. It could be a bar. It could be a backyard barbecue. It could be Georgia football. It doesn't really matter. They're saying F Joe Biden because people don't like what Joe Biden is doing. But then one magical day on a NASCAR track, you have a reporter interviewing a guy by the name of Brandon who won his race, and people were chanting F Joe Biden. Now, we can hear clearly what's going on in the background, F Joe Biden, but maybe she can't, giving her the benefit of the doubt. So she kind of heard the chant, but she may not have really heard it. It doesn't really matter because she said they're talking about let's go, Brandon, when they really said F Joe Biden. So from that point on, the chant became less of F Joe Biden and more of let's go, Brandon. It's family friendly. You know, little kids can say it. They can put it on their t-shirts, put it on merchandise. It's a whole movement. Let's go, Brandon. Then you had Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, kind of feeding into it, talking about the Brandon administration rather than the Biden administration. So it's been fun. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. If you can't take the heat, then how about do better as a president? But I digress. The whole point is people say that he means F Joe Biden. Therefore, you can't say F Joe Biden or anything that could be alluding to F Joe Biden. Therefore, he is a racist. Therefore, he is using a quote unquote right wing slur. Yes, I have said that. And I'm going to pause just for a moment. Pause for a moment. The idea of a right wing slur. How was it a slur? Where's a slur? Let's go, Brandon. When you hear the word slur, what do you think? You think racial slur, right? The N word, the K word, the C word. No, the words you can't really say on TV. You can say, let's go, Brandon on TV, and it's not a slur. It's not a slur at all. But they want to use the word, quote unquote, slur to tie it to racism. So then when they say that he's a racist, although he's white, Joe Biden is white, Joe Biden is white, the guy Brandon was white, the reporter was white, although everyone involved and the whole situation is white, they'll still say he's racist because of how they play with words. You see how they do? You see how that kind of operates? Okay. And really what it is, it's a way for the left to try and control the narrative. They don't want you to think that Joe Biden's doing a bad job. They want you to believe that he has everything under control. They want you to think that he has a virus under control, that the economy is going great, that the country is good and safe and secure and everything's fine and anybody on drugs, there's no opioid crisis, there's no supply chain shortage. They want to gaslight you to make you think a thing that's not really true, to make your reality different from what we can all see. Everyone sees that there is a problem in the country. Everyone can see that this man Joe Biden has some problems. So why can't we say, let's go, Brandon? It's because they don't want us to have any kind of voice. And, to further prove my point, what did they say throughout the entire presidency of Donald Trump? F Trump. They would say F Trump on TV, on CNN. F Trump. I'm sick of this. SHI, X, Y, and Z. You understand what I'm saying? They would curse live on there to express their disdain for Donald Trump. We had the Access Hollywood interview with Billy Bush, and the tape leaked, and then he said a few things, grab him by the X, Y, and Z. They would say the full thing live on CNN like it was no problem. You had plenty of songs that said F Donald Trump. They were allowed to chart on Billboard. They could perform it on TV. They did all that stuff. Okay, Kathy Griffin had an effigy, a bloody effigy of Donald Trump's head on Twitter, carrying around like it was a popsicle or something like that. Okay, and then she was crying, talking about, oh well, they harassed me. You have a bloody effigy of a sitting president's head. That should be considered a threat. You had plenty of threats from celebrities and regular people against the administration, not just Trump, but any conservative. You had the dude that shot up Steve Scalise and a bunch of other Republicans at the GOP baseball game. The amount of hatred that Biden is getting is nothing. It's not even really hatred. It's just like, hey, you're not doing a good job. You suck as a president. All right, you're trash. Tighten up. Do better. If I voted for you, which I didn't, but if I voted for you, I'd be upset. I'd be like, hey, man, can I get a refund? Can I get a do-over or nah? Because I'm not satisfied with my selection. My selection has gone straight down the toilet. If it was a stock, I'd be clear in the red, ready to go ahead and sell, but I can't because he's in there for the next few years unless we impeach him. And speaking of impeachment, they impeached the president not once but twice and got beat both times. Now, an impeachment is a pretty serious thing to go through. To try and remove a guy from being the president, that's pretty serious. I mean, you're going against the will of half the country, millions of people. You're saying, nah, you don't matter. We're going to decide it among ourselves. And it failed not once but twice because they're desperate to get him out of there. So let me get this straight, just so I understand mainstream media, left-wing politicos. You could say F Donald Trump, Trump's a racist, Trump's a Nazi, Trump's a Russian colluder, Trump's this, Trump's that, his supporters are dumb, they're stupid, they stink. Okay, you can say all that kind of stuff about Trump supporters, people in the GOP, and it's totally fine. You can curse and spit and all that kind of stuff live on television about Trump and his supporters, calling supporters dumb if they're black, they shouldn't be over there, they're going against their own best. You could say all these things about Trump and Trump supporters, and it's totally fine. But then when a father of four, a former police officer in Oregon, calls and does a prank, you want to try and dox him, send him death threats, talking about he's racist and he's vile, he's disgusting. I've even seen people like Geraldo, who is kind of on the right, but still on Fox News. I've even seen him talk about, oh, he shouldn't have done it. It's distasteful. Really? A prank call with no cursing is distasteful? I mean, how soft have we gotten, as I close, how soft have we gotten where a prank call as innocent as that is seen as the equivalent to some kind of terrorism? It's crazy. But you know what? It's not even about being soft from those that really matter. It's not even about being soft. It's about just trying to control the narrative. You don't want anything to be said bad about Joe Biden, so you protect him while leaving the door wide open to attack Donald Trump. That's what's going on. Trump's not even in office, and they're still trying to attack Trump. I saw a movie from Reno 911. I've never seen that show before, but they're doing the QAnon movie. I think it said Hunt for QAnon. You see what I'm saying? And I already know without watching the trailer, without knowing anything about it except for the movie cover and the title, they're going to be attacking Trump supporters in general, label them as backwater, ignorant, hicks, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, if I go to liberal utopias like San Francisco, I can see doo-doo live on the ground. like they animals in their cage in the zoo. Okay, so what's really going on? Who has a brain and who doesn't when you're talking about left versus right and leadership? To me, it's pretty easy to see, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about this Oregon dad prank calling Joe Biden on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whenever that was? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How you feel about the media's response? Oh, it's vile, it's disgusting, he's racist, and all this, how you feeling about getting doxxed and death threats and all these things over a simple prank call? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. It's all about trying to control the narrative. They can't just fix this guy, Joe Biden, and make him be a better president. So rather than fixing him, rather than doing things that make sense for the American people, rather than helping your constituents that voted for you allegedly, rather than doing that, you want to just be like, oh no, ain't nothing going on here. That's him. He says that he doesn't like Joe Biden, but everybody else does. That's the idea they want you to have, although we all know that's simply not true. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.